Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. We welcome our members and guests to Temple Ohev Shalom on this cold and icy Friday night. Let's begin by taking a cleansing breath. Nice deep breath. We can let go of any of the aggravation of the past week, and we'll get ready to welcome the Sabbath. Let's turn, please, to page 121, and we'll light our Shabbat candles. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Let's turn the page to 123. We will welcome Shabbat with Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim Kivanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Let's continue on page 124. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Lecha Dodi, page 138. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nikah Shahamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmi'anu el Am Yuchad, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad, L'Shem Ultiferet V'Litila, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kahala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kahala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Last verse. Bo Ivshalom Ateret Bala, Gam Besimcha Uvzola, Toch Emuneh, Am Segula, Boikala, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kahala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kahala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Page 140. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm, they thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no wrong. Let's rise now and turn to page 264 for Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, Asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvidvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et ha'kochavim, b'mishmarotehem barakia kirtsono. Borei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, Umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Page 266. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world. In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema, page 267. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta, page 268. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meyodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, b'shiftecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'aderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukishartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 269. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Yam bam 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 bibi bam ya ba 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 bim bam yam bam 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 bibi bam ya ba 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 bim bam ay 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 ya ba 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 bim bam ay 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 ya ba 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 bim bam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh no Norat hilot o sefel, Norat hilot o sefel, Yam bam 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 bibi bam ya ba 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 bim bam, Yam bam 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 bibi bam ya ba 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 bim bam, ay 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 ya ba 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 bim bam, ay 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 ya ba 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 bim bam. Let's continue together on page 271. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. V'shamru, page 272. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beni uven b'nei Yisrael ot hi leolam, ot hi leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Let's rise now for Tefillah, page 273. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi tehillatcha. Eternal God, open my lips so that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Koneh HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Ge'ula Livnei V'Nehem L'Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh Ukdoshim B'chol Yom Yahalelucha Selah Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Let's continue together on page 278. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Be gracious, Adonai, our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. Oh, may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. And we continue with Shalom Rav on page 282. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol ed ubechol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Let's pause now for a moment of silent reflection. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Let's turn now to page 371, and we'll ask God's blessings on those in our community and in our families who are sick and in need of healing. Prayers are offered for the speedy recovery of Larry Friedman, Pam Kastner, Florence Cohen, Susan Sherburne, Phil Kessler, Izzy Schwab, and anyone you may wish to name at this time. We say together, Baruch Atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, Adonai, our God, who heals the sick, and we say, Amen. Mishaberach, page 371. Mishaberach avotenu, Mekor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu, Mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Let us take a moment to thank the caregivers in our midst, those who are working hard to keep us healthy and happy. May God bring healing to us all, and we say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Let's go back in time to a Passover Seder when you were a kid. Close your eyes if it helps you to picture the moment. I'll describe mine to you, and maybe it can bring a memory or two back from your own experience. So there's a crowd in my grandparents' apartment. Aunts, uncles, cousins. The dining room is packed with people. And off to the side is a folding card table for the youngsters, known in the Kessler household as the kids' table. Now, being at the kids' table is never fun. The adults sit on the cushioned dining room chairs, and the kids sit on cold metal folding chairs. And all the action is at the big table. The Haggadot that match the real Passover food. Yeah, we got matzah and the other Seder plate delicacies, but the kids often get kid food, not the good stuff. The other problem with being at the kids' table is sitting with your siblings and your cousins. Never fun. They are so busy trying to tease you or steal food from your plate that you can't pay attention to the Seder. And when Grandpa calls on you to read, you have no idea where he is at the Seder, and he gets angry because he thinks you don't care that the Jews were enslaved by Pharaoh. But you do care. You really do, but it's hard to pay attention when you're relegated to Siberia in the living room when the adults are sitting at the dining room table. And yes, Grandpa can't hear you anyway, so you sit on that hard chair and wait patiently for the Seder to end. Well, I have some news for you this Shabbat. It's time to get rid of the kids' table. Not literally, but metaphorically. It's time to get everyone in the Jewish family at the same table and start listening to the story of the enslavement of Jews and the fact that Jewish people are often ostracized, misunderstood, and relegated to the card table with the folding chairs. So much is happening in the media today when it comes to anti-Semitism that it's time we listened and paid attention, because the problem isn't going away. In fact, it gets worse by the day. Language by the United Methodist Church that calls Israel an apartheid state, Amnesty International that is anti-Israel and anti-Semitic, advocates for Methodists act to boycott products manufactured in Israel in what they call occupied lands. The United Nations Human Rights Council continues to call Israel an apartheid state, despite numerous allegations that the Council has been misinformed about the treatment of Palestinians. And a few weeks ago in Florida, Jewish neighborhoods were bombarded by leaflets that proclaimed that Jews control Congress and are responsible for COVID. And of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Congresswoman from Georgia, is constantly blaming the Jewish people for just about everything she can think of. Friends, we've been sitting at the kids' table for too long, mindlessly picking on each other when we need to get together and fight anti-Semitism head-on. We don't have the luxury of letting others castigate Israel because we are, well, too busy thinking of other things. Hate crimes against Jews are on the rise, and the numbers don't lie. It's time we spoke up when Jewish people are thrown under the bus. All Jewish people, whether we are Americans, European, or Israelis. It used to be easy to figure out where the hate came from, but today, Jewish people get it from both sides. There's left-wing hatred of Jewish people that grows by the day, and right-wing hatred of Jews has never been stronger. We can't hide and simply hope that it goes away. We're not kids anymore. We are responsible, thinking adults who need to wake up to the problem of anti-Semitism wherever it is found. It's getting worse, and we need to be vigilant. Be educated, be aware, be careful. Shabbat Shalom. A few announcements on this Shabbat evening. We have a lot of adult education coming up. Religious school is this Sunday beginning at 9:30 a.m. Basic Judaism class is this Sunday at 10 a.m. on Zoom. PEP is this Sunday at 11 a.m. on Zoom. Lunch and Learn is Wednesday, February 9th at 12 noon on Zoom. And we ask you to remember that the Sisterhood Brunch, which will also be on Zoom, takes place on Sunday, February 28th at 10 a.m. The topic for this week's brunch is Alzheimer's, dementia, learn the facts and get support. We will be joined by speakers from the Dementia Friends of Pennsylvania. All are welcome to attend. Please RSVP to Miriam Robinson or Patty Hivner to receive the Zoom link. And Shabbat Shalom. Let's rise now and turn to Aleinu on page 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzev reshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please remain standing as we prepare for the mourner's Kaddish. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat, we remember the recent passing of Bonnie Heller-Stein, and we remember those whose yahrzeits are being observed. Charlotte E. Ansel, Sophia Aronson, Harold J. Estrick, Casey Marie Berger, Seymour Blank, Sarah Deasand, Rose Epstein, John Feldman, Helen Heineman, Pauline Kessler, Ella Lehrman, Wilma Levy, Harry Loengard, Leon Loengard, Rebecca Menaker, Jean McGatz, Jonathan Sachs, Henry Shire, J. Siegel, Mervyn Silver, Jack E. Spector, William Spatalny, Molly B. Yathi, Jack Zuckerman. For those that have been named or for those you may name within your own hearts, we ask you to remain standing as the mourner's Kaddish is recited on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agolav izman kariv v'yimaru amen, yehesh shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei kudsha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, ta'amiran b'yalma v'yimaru amen, yehesh shlomo rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen, oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all of us who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and we say, Amen. Our closing hymn this Shabbat is Adon Olam on page 625. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa v'chefsachol azay melech shamo nikra Adon Olam ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora Adon Olam ve'hu haya ve'hu hoveh ve'hu yeh b'tifara Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivrach leit nasa v'chefsachol azay melech shamo nikra Adon Olam biya'ado afkid ruchi be'et ishan ve'achira Adon Olam ve'im ruchi geviati Adon oli v'lo ira Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivrach leit nasa v'chefsachol azay melech shamo nikra Adon Olam. Now let me ask God's blessings on our congregational family. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our mothers and fathers, grant us a Shabbat filled with joy and rest, and a week ahead filled with good health and peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.